All right. Good morning. Let's do a quick audio check here just to make sure everything is good. How's everybody this morning? I'm a little bit tired. Kind of struggled to get out of bed there. But we made it. We made it. Excuse me. As you can see, we kind of opened up, sold off a bit, made a new high, sold off again, and then sold off down here again. So the midnight opening is there, so we swept that. And the low is here. So kind of what are we looking for here? Really just looking for displacement back to the upside. To where we can probably target this 25 area, potentially. Maybe even 28. Something like that. Just crossed over to 3 a.m. here, so let's kind of see what happens. We do have our funded account here on the left and another challenge account here on the right. So that's kind of what I'm thinking this morning. Looking for some displacement back to the upside here. I'm going to have this whole number here, 15,200. So we'll see if we can't get some displacement back to the upside there. Again, we'll probably just be targeting the 10 handles on the PA account, so it's $200. Pushing through the lows there at 200. See what happens. Pushing down pretty strong here. Just kind of watching it here. See what we get. ES pulling back into that 44.37 range. Just kind of looking at the ES here. And that move yesterday that started at around noon, pretty big move up there on the ES and the Nasdaq. If it wanted to, it could come back and fill that gap all the way back down to kind of that 44.20 area, potentially. I wouldn't think that that's what it would do, but you never know. Possible push back up into this 200 level. One more time before it maybe continues lower. It could wait. Again, I'm kind of thinking that we'll put in a low here. We do have some liquidity resting there at 91. So if we move up to the 200 level before it kind of takes out that 91, then we might take a short entry just from 200 down to the 90. 10 handles. Even though I kind of feel like probably going to be a bit bullish here. I think if we don't take the liquidity at 91, that we will probably trade back down one more time. And take the liquidity. We'll see here. Reason I'm picking 200 is because on the 2-minute chart, there's a volume imbalance. Well, really, it's at 99, but I would like it to touch 200. You also do have one here on the 1-minute chart at the 99 area. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, I could just be completely off. But on the 15-minute chart, we have liquidity resting at 91. So we kind of just put in relatively equal lows here. So I would think it would come back to take those out. Now, if this takes out the 91 before it comes and tags me in, then we'll scratch this trade. Because, I mean, really, on the 3-minute chart, you'd be looking at like 98 as your entry. But this should be a pretty quick trade if this works out. If it tags us in, it should move back down to that 90 area pretty fast. Otherwise, we may just be offsides. And probably, let's see. Stop really could be at like 06. So that's kind of the top of the candle that creates this small gap here. So, but again, if it takes the 91 without us, then we'll scratch this and look for something back to the upside. Like I said, it might have been a little bit wishful thinking to think that it might come back to the 200, but and then go. ES basing right here at the 44.36.75 area. Let me see. Doom. 3 minutes. We'll put the ES right there. So that you can kind of see what I'm looking at. And there it goes. It took the liquidity that we were looking for. So I'm going to scratch that. So we kind of had the right idea there. And I mean, we could have taken a little bit of a worse entry. Could have taken an entry right there at 97.50. But, you know, kind of wanted a little better entry. So wanted a bit of a better entry. Didn't really get it. In hindsight, you could be like, well, I should have took it at 97.50. But I mean, honestly, this thing kind of looks like it might just want to sell off here. We will wait and see what happens. In order for us to be bullish, it's going to have to get a pretty large displacement kind of back above that 15 to 11 area. If that fails to happen, then we will kind of still just be looking for shorts. I mean, there still is that volume imbalance at that 200 level that it may want to come back and revisit. I was just wanting it to do it before it took the liquidity there at 91. So we were thinking that that would make sense. Kind of getting a little pushback up here, so now it's going to be kind of the decision time. Do we take the short when it pushes back into 200 potentially? Or is this going to be kind of a structure shift? I think we'll take the short here. I was like, what is going on here? quite know what I got going on there. Could just be offsides on this one. If it's going to push down, we'd like to see it do it now. But good news is if we are offsides here, then we will just it should still give us our 3-minute setup for the potential long anyway. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe for me. So far, it looks okay-ish. Not great. I can see it push through that 90 for me to feel a little better about it. I want to kind of get this thing pushing down here. Come down here and retest these lows. See if we can't get this push on through here. And I think I may just target 10 handles here. This is my PA account that I just have started using. Today is the first day in it, so like to just get a nice little winner to start it off. Would be nice. And I'm probably just going to take it right there. Just kind of start this one off with a little winner. I think it'll push through this 86 area, but so maybe maybe we leave a little bit on the table there for that one, but that's okay. Just kind of trying to start it off with a little bit of a winner. I'm not really, the challenge accounts, I'm not really, showing those anymore unless this just, I can leave the profit there, but it did take a little bigger size on that one and took $837 there, but not really going to recap those accounts. So this kind of bottomed off 86 here, so we could have got the full 10 handles, could have got the $200. Feel a little bad about it, but then again, I don't. So, like I said, ultimately, I'm kind of bullish this morning. I'm thinking that we're going to get a move back up, so I don't want to really push my luck too much there. So, and a lot of times it'll trade back into this gap 2, 3, 4 times, and I've noticed that I've been holding it. I've been holding it through that gap, through all of those pushes up, push down, push up, push down. And if I just took kind of 10 handles, if I target 10 handles, then you could potentially enter, 2, 3 times on the same setup and get a little, obviously the second or third time it's a little more risky, but that's okay. Like I said, this is the PA account. It's my first day in it, so we don't, you don't want to take a loss if you can, but it's not that big a deal if you do. So let's kind of watch this and see what happens here. I kind of feel like probably going to shift back to the upside now. Which is kind of what I was thinking when I sat down. Honestly, that's what happens almost, I would say probably 8 out of 10 mornings in the London session when I come in here at 3 a.m. We've almost always kind of pushed up to midnight. So you can see, midnight right in here. And then we sell off. We did have a little push back up, but almost every morning when I come in here nearly, it's a sell-off. And then we kind of bounce out of there and move higher. Especially 4:15, we kind of get that move up, and then possibly sell off again. If you're new here, I do stream the London session live 5 days a week, and also the New York session as well. 3 to 4 a.m. typically, maybe a little after 4 some mornings. And then the London, or the New York, obviously 9:30 to somewhere between 12 and 1 is how long I've been streaming lately. So the Apex 90% off sale did end at midnight a few hours ago. They did come out with a new 80% off sale as soon as that one ended. So I have a link in the description if you're interested in that. Coupon code in the banner. So this thing could just go into sell mode. That's the thing. You can kind of make an argument for both sides here, but I just kind of wanted to take a little bit out of it this morning. Just kind of kick it off. So we'll wait and see if we get offered any more entries. You can see on the 1 minute chart, let's see, switch over to it here. I mean, when I first sat down, I was watching this, and you could have taken an entry here at 97. So could have just got short here off that 1 minute, kind of traded back up into it, went down to 86, so could have got 10 handles there. Then I was kind of eyeballing that 200 level, but it didn't really push through there, and I kind of took an entry a couple of handles lower than I wanted, 98.50. I was looking for 200, so, and got 7 handles there. Obviously could have got a little more, and then it just kind of traded back into that 1 minute gap again. So you literally could have took this entry 2-3 times already, but we took it once. I'm okay with it. So just kind of watching this here to see if we get a structure shift back to the upside, or if this just continues to sell off. Like I said, we do have room on the ES down to that 44.20 level. I don't know that we'll get there here in the overnight session, but that's kind of a key level there. If we kind of look at the 15-minute chart, I have it right here. I mean, you can see there is a volume imbalance here on the 15-minute chart down here at the kind of 22.20 area. So that's kind of where that's the low from yesterday. So that's kind of a key area. You need to hold that. So it could kind of potentially fill this gap here overnight, hold the 20 level, and then kind of bounce back out of there tomorrow. So you can see the ES was in sell mode from 3:15 on the 5th. We just sell until about 11 a.m. yesterday, 11:30, 11:15. We finally V'd out of there nicely. Kind of holding up here at the 35. Let's see what happens. See if we get this pushed back up. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. Feel free to chat. Keep me awake. I was sleeping so good too. The alarm went off, and it was one of those things where it's like, what is that? Traded right back up into that 200 level. Kind of rejecting it now. Like I said, this thing's probably going to offer 2 or 3 entries. I don't know that I'm going to take them, but is ultimately, I'd like to see a shift back to the upside short term. You know, I do think we might continue to sell off here tonight, kind of going into non-farm payroll Friday, but I could be wrong as well. I want to say like 9 out of the last 10 or something like that Thursday nights or Friday morning London sessions, it's been bullish. So, but that gap down to the yesterday lows does look a little bit juicy. So, but we also could trade back up into that 44.50 area on the ES. You never know. So, in order for us to be bullish here, we're going to look for a structure shift to the upside, breaking that 11 area, and then see if it offers us some sort of PD array for entry to the long side. That's kind of what I ultimately think will happen, but could be wrong. A lot of times the silver bullet's going to offer you more than 10 handles. Usually it's, somewhere around that 20 handle mark. So as you can see, so far it's really 10 handles, 11 handles right in there. So haven't really had that breakaway yet to one way or one direction or the other. So do have relatively equal lows here on the ES as well. Kind of a double bottom look on the 1 minute chart. Triple bottom, really. Same thing right there on the NQ. So this really could sell off. I mean, obviously, I'd like to. I feel more comfortable with the shift to the upside, but it still could just sell off here. So that's what a lot of streamers do, right? You make a case for both directions, and then you say, "Hey, look, I told you, I was right." It's not really what we do, but I've seen it done. There it is, testing that 200 level again, looking like it's probably going to try to go back to this 86 level again. I'm going to be changing up my strategy a bit for the 9:30 to 10 a.m. and then 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. deal there. Going to be testing out something new. Not really going to do it in the London session tonight, but we're going to be testing out something new, see how it works. Really just doing that on the challenge accounts, and don't want to test out something new on the funded account. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, if it goes well, then we'll kind of implement that into our trading strategy. You can always do more than one thing. I do like the silver bullet because it's pretty consistent. I don't think I've traded a London session, especially on the NQ, where the silver bullet has not presented itself. So you can see the ES a little stronger here. I mean, this almost broke this gap. I mean, it to the tick, one tick away from it. I mean, really, if you took this short, and then your stop could either be here. If you wanted to feel safe about it, though, probably should be up there. But, ICT says you could put it here, one tick above the candle that creates the gap. But then again, you do have that gap with a little small imbalance above it. But that did occur before 3. But sometimes that's the better entry. It probably is going to revisit this area if it does sell off. We'll see. See what it has to offer, but at the moment it looks like it's trying to go back and retest these lows. Yeah, I have had nights in the London session where the ES doesn't kind of give the silver bullet setup, but I don't think I can remember a session where the London session didn't offer it. It's been sometimes where I didn't take it because I missed it, but I'm going to show you guys something that I kind of did here, which is kind of, I don't know, I feel stupid for, but I don't care. I'll show it to you anyway. So this is the other account that I took the trades on. So I was taking single contracts, right? And I was trying to buy in short. And so I literally bought in short, and then my mouse was kind of like, whatever reason, it was like in the middle here. And so I would sell short, and then the next one I would buy, and then I would sell, and then I would buy. So I accumulated $130 something in losses by accidentally doing that over and over. Just something stupid. Because you wouldn't think that this chart would shift, but for whatever reason, when I would hit sell, the chart shifted like that. So when I hit sell here, I don't know, you get what I'm saying, or maybe it shifted like that. Because I hit sell and then it shifted, and all of a sudden it was on buy, and I didn't realize it. And I was just clicking, click, 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 and then I noticed it, and I was like, "What in the world is going on?" So that would have been really like closer to $1,000, but unfortunately we started off in a hole there. But the longer that this kind of holds up down here before it sells off or goes in the other direction, kind of going to lead me to believe that we may move back up, but it might just be hanging out here, creating some liquidity down there, suckering in some longs, and then just waterfall down. But in order for us to kind of be bullish here, we want to see this trade above that opening price, 15 to 11. If we can get above that, well, I guess that's not the opening price, but you can see whatever that is that the middle price? Must be. Where is that? Interesting. I guess that is the opening price. I was confused because it says we're down 38 points, but we're only 11 points away from that. But anyways, yeah, I kind of got to get back above this area here. I'd like to have a structure shift up into this 14, 15 area and then leave us some sort of entry. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Not much to do until something along those lines happens. I mean, on the NQ, you kind of have, yesterday lows all the way down there at 115, 115 area. So if this does kind of start to sell off, that would kind of be a decent target. The highs. Possible move back up into that 300 level at some point. I do think we're going to trade up today. I don't think this is going to be a sell Friday. Ultimately, kind of bullish today. But overnight here, tough to say. Can go either way. Short term, I'd like it to kind of go up there, but those gaps in the chart like to get filled. So you can see this has retested this 200 level on the 3-minute chart. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 times already. From 200 to 190, 4 times. This looking like a little stronger push down here. This might be the sell-off. Or it may come and take some stops before kind of heading higher here. Creating some liquidity down here at the 86. I'm hungry this morning already. Started doing the intermittent fasting, which, I'm not like doing it 100%. It's not like, it's kind of been an accidental type thing. I start trading at 9:30, wake up late, and then I don't get off the computer until about 1. So then, no breakfast. So just kind of accidentally doing it, but the last couple of days seems to be working out okay. Trying to drop a little weight, put on some weight on vacation there over the last couple of weeks. Vacation weight. And then over the previous 9 months, I got a 3-month-old, so we'll blame him. We'll say we had some, I don't know what you call it, sympathy weight. We put on some sympathy weight. So, not really. Just trying to eat a little healthier. Shed a few pounds. So kind of coming down to retest that 86 area there. Once again, this could be the sell-off. If it bounces out of there this time without taking that 86 level, then will be a little bit interesting. There we go. It took it. It decided it was time to go. ES approaching the lows there at 35.75. See if it joins the party. ES really hasn't well, we're looking at the 3-minute. Let's check it. We got the 1 minute pulled up over here. I was trying to see if the ES had offered 5 handles yet. I guess technically you could have taken an entry at 44.40. Traded up into a order block there. So if you took the short at 44.40, then you're approaching the 5 handles on that. You can't really see the order block here on the 3-minute, but there's one there on the 1 minute. All right, selling through here. Again, it's kind of what we talked about, potential move down. I mean, I wanted to kind of see a structure shift up short term. But this did trade back up into this gap several times, offering several opportunities to get short. We did take this one just for 7 handles. And then obviously a little bigger size over here. But certainly left some points on the table. I've noticed this during the London session. This is what I was saying earlier, how this thing, it will trade back into the gap 2, 3, 4 times and then sell off or go the other direction. So you could take, you could take 10 points out of here several times. It's just a little bit dangerous once you get past that. I'd say the first and the second time's fine. But the third, fourth time, Like I said, the silver bullet normally will offer at least 20 handles somewhere in there. So if you got short there at 98, down at 80, you're almost at the 20 handles. I was actually looking to get short at the 200 level because of the volume imbalance on the 2-minute chart. So 280, that's your giving you your 20 handles there. Not really a whole lot of drawdown there. I mean, if you got short at 200, trade it back up to 205, basically 5 handles. If you took it here, you got 1 handle of drawdown. Sometimes I think about just putting like an order on the book. Like, for example, if I think this thing's going to trade back down into that 20 level, potentially overnight, you know, kind of testing those lows. Kind of think about just putting an order down here at 20 and just leave it. But we don't do that. We could do that, but we're not going to. I still think this thing could trade all the way back up here into this 40 level, 40, 41 level, and still maybe sell off, but might be kind of wishful thinking there. Because, yeah, that 41 level kind of puts you in to the premium range. Just kind of watching here to see what happens. See if we can't start turning back up in the other direction. Kind of get a shift back to the upside again. I want to see it kind of break this 12 level if we're going to be bullish. And that's where it kind of needs to go. Trades back up into the 200 level again. I wouldn't take it at this point. I think that's kind of the silver bullet already, that we didn't take what we should have out of it. We should have at least gotten the 10 handles, potentially even 20, obviously. But admittedly, I traded a little, if you want to call it scared or whatever, first day being in the funded account. Just kind of wanted to lock in a win. So we'll get comfortable trading it, after 2, 3, 4 days, and then not necessarily take bigger size, but potentially at least 2 contracts. I like to take 2 contracts, take one off at 10, and then put your stop at 5 handles on the second one and just kind of see what you can get. That guarantees $300 at least. So, like I said, most of the time you can kind of target 20 handles. At least. Well, still settling down a little bit here, all the way down to 76. Man, it's amazing how quiet the discords get overnight. Seems like everyone sleeps. Kind of bouncing off that 76 level there, 34.25 on the ES. So if you were short from the 40 level on the ES, you got your 5 handles. Congratulations. I think I am going to start back paying more attention to the ES. I kind of stopped trading it as much, but I do think I'm going to give it a little more attention, especially during the New York session. Give the ES a little more attention because it kind of, even though the moves aren't quick, it does what you think it's going to do most of the time. So you can kind of pick out your support and resistance levels there on the ES, and it will usually obey those. I find that the Nasdaq kind of paints outside the lines a little bit, if you will. Don't always do what you think. So definitely am feeling a little bit like we left a little extra money on the table here, but sometimes it's going to be like that. I really mismanaged the trades last night. So because of that, I kind of came into the night thinking just lock in profit. I think I burned myself last night in both directions. Then I actually had it correct the second time. And closed my trade out for like a $600 loser on my short, when in fact it would have worked out. It happens. So bouncing off that 76 level, we may get kind of a structure shift back to the upside here. Let's watch and see. If you guys are going to be joining me for the New York session, we'll probably be starting to stream a little bit late this morning. Got to take the 20-year-old daughter to a dermatology appointment. Go figure. She can't drive herself, apparently. It's like, do they ever grow up? I mean, come on. She literally texted me at midnight and said, hey, I have a dermatology appointment at 8:45 in the morning. Can you take me? So I guess we'll be doing that to start our day. Just what we want to do. Wake up early, drive an hour away to a dermatology appointment, and then come home. So, but that's what we'll be doing. So probably won't be starting the morning stream until 10 or 10:30. Hopefully we don't miss the silver bullet setup at that point that we look for between 10 and 11. Could be a blessing in disguise because we do have the non-farm payroll tomorrow. Let me look and see. I don't even know what time that comes out. I want to say it's 8:30, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, non-farm payroll 8:30. So that will be a big one tomorrow. Big news day. I don't know. It might be a good day to sit out. You never know with those types of trading days. Don't always give you what you want or what you think you're going to get. So ES is bouncing off that 34 level nicely here. So is the Nasdaq, making a little V off the bottom. Excuse me. Yeah, I think in order to be bullish on the ES here, kind of really get above that 44 level. And then on the NQ, really 211, 212. I'd feel comfortable there. Susan Street. Hi, which time zone are you in? I am in Eastern. Where are you located, Susan? I'm in the United States, in Georgia. So it's currently 4 a.m. here, as you can see on my chart up there. 4 a.m. Eastern. Retesting that 200 level again. See if we can't just punch right through there. Wow, a night session. You're in Germany? Yeah, I just typed in the chat, Susan, because people don't always hear when you respond. So, Germany. What time is it in Germany? I wouldn't know. The lady that cuts my hair is from Germany. She's been cutting my hair since I was like 10 years old. Her name's Petra. I took some German in 8th grade, but we don't remember very much of it. And let's be honest, it was 8th grade. What can they really teach you? Hello, goodbye, how are you? You know, those sorts of things. 10 a.m. Nice and early. You're trading the Apex 50K also. Nice. Yeah, I got this one. It's basically back to break even now. We had a bad day yesterday on it. You can see 50,152 is the current balance. I think I lost about $600 on it yesterday. So got that back and a little bit more. Really like to get these Apex accounts. I got 2 other ones that I'm not trading here. I need to set up the trade copier or the group trade on these. Probably do that tomorrow. Reason I didn't today is because this one was in drawdown, and so kind of wanted to just get it back to even before we set that up. Yeah, I do trade every London session, Susan. We are live 3 a.m. every day. Now, we don't always trade well, but we're live. Now, I think I do okay in London session as long as I come into it with the right mindset. I trust my trades. But you can see here, I didn't really do a great job on this trade, but that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get the whole move. Just take some of it. And it'll be just fine. Yeah, grinding and just waiting. I mean, really this entry here, I could have held it for a bit more. But I came into the morning kind of short-term bullish, thinking we may get a structure shift back to the upside. So didn't have a lot of faith. I thought we would take out that 90 level that was sitting there. So I was kind of looking at the 1 minute chart when I first sat down. We kind of traded down here to 92 and then back up into this gap. I was looking for a better entry at 200 before it went and took out the 92, but then it went without me. And then when it traded back up into the 200 level, I took the short. Took a little drawdown, but took a few points out of the market anyway there. This account on the left is the PA account, so it's my funded account. The one on the right is obviously still another 50K challenge. Oh. Yeah, I like the NQ. Do you trade the ES? Like I said, I think I'm going to be paying more attention to the ES. Probably taking some entries on that during the New York. But I like the speed of the NQ because, you know, give me my profit fast or kill me fast, one or the other. I don't want to wait around. No waiting around for it. Just take it and go. Yeah, I traded the ES for like the first 6 months, and I enjoyed it, but like I switched over to the NQ for maybe like, I don't know, so I was just like, one day I'm going to give it a try, and there was just no looking back. Once I traded it for like a week, I couldn't trade anything else at that point. I was kind of stuck. Yeah, I trade the New York session also. So we get up at 2:45 a.m. trade this session, usually till 4:30, something like that. Then I'll go back to sleep and try to wake up at 8, but last couple of days 8 came and went. I had the alarm set, but I don't know. But luckily woke up before the New York session opened, and yeah. We trade the silver bullet in the New York session as well. I am, like I said, testing out a new strategy that I may start trading on stream. We'll see. Got to kind of back test and get a little better at it. It's more of a scalping strategy. So, not that this isn't scalping, because I mean, for sure that's what this is, but you get what I mean. Well, it tried to retest that 200 level again. Now it looks like it's moving back into the lows. You see on the ES here, we have these volume imbalances here. I didn't really mention them, but I was looking at them. I was like, man, these kind of look juicy, but you had one here, one here. So I just kind of repainted those and started moving lower. Haven't really had much of a move, though. I mean, like I said, you could have taken the 200 short 2 or 3 times here, at least twice. I have noticed on these ICT setups, usually it will kind of return a second time and offer the actual move. So I don't know why I didn't take that retest of it there. In hindsight, it's easy to see, but in real time, not so much. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Turn on the notifications so that you know when I post a video or go live. If you are interested in trading futures, do have the link for Apex there in the description below with the coupon code for 80% off. The 90% off sale ended at midnight Eastern last night. I don't know how you say that. 4 hours ago. So now you can only get 80% off. Which still not a bad deal, but hopefully you picked up some accounts before the sale ended. Well, it's not looking like we're going to get this displacement to the upside that I was looking for. So we'll give it a few more minutes here. Excuse me, goodness. Here and kind of see what happens, but not seeing it as of yet. You got stuck several times at 52K in the challenge. Then the monkey mind takes over and I blow the account. Well, how I trade the challenge accounts, and this is probably not the smartest way to do it, but this is what I do. I mean, you can see here I took 5 contracts on this short for $837. I usually just take 5 contracts, try to target 10 handles for just $1,000 on each trade. And yeah, if you can have 3 successful trades in a row, or 4 and 1, whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm a little more aggressive on those accounts. I kind of size up, especially in the London session, because the silver bullet it's a pretty consistent thing. You're at least probably going to get 10 handles out of it if you can just identify it. And usually not horrible drawdown. So you see we took 5 points of drawdown here. So with those 5 contracts, it would have been about $500 in drawdown. So I actually got a little better feel on those. I didn't enter on those until 201.50, and the stop was at 209. So it would be risking $650 on that trade. So kind of just a 1-to-1, 1 to 1.5 if I took 10 handles, but because of Apex their trailing drawdown, as soon as these kind of get, above 5 or 6 handles, I start moving my stops down. So we don't want it to come back on us and then take out our drawdown. So right now we have $2,421 left on this account in drawdown. And actually yesterday during the New York session, I was down about $1,900 on this account total. Fumbled a couple trades and almost was kind of like YOLO and just throwing a trade, but I didn't. I went into scout mode and worked it back down to about 650 in the red. Got it back to a manageable area. So yeah, that's the thing is like I've been trading I'm trading on Top Step also, and trading a much more conservative way, and mainly because of their scaling. You can only use 2 contracts. You can only get 30%. Well, it was 40% of profit in one day. And so I was much more conservative on the Top Step and just not being as consistent as I need to be. Kept kind of blowing those accounts up. So it's one thing I do like about Apex is that you can, you can get all the profit in one day if you need to, or if you want to. And then just kind of trade a mini for your next few days to kind of log a trading day. Just enter a mini, exit a mini, lock it in. It's kind of what I did on this account, this PA account. I think I traded this one for 3 days, and then I needed like $1,000 to get to the funded level. So I just took the silver bullet setup, I think at 10 a.m. one day. I entered, put my stop in, put my target, and I just went to Walmart. And when I came back, it hit my target. So sometimes you got to take the mental aspect out of it and just let it do its thing. It's kind of my problem as of right now is just moving my stop into profit too soon, which, on Apex you kind of have to do that with larger size, but with just one, like with one contract like I took here, there's no reason for me to take short profit. Should have at least taken 10 handles, but you're never going to be perfect. Always going to be things you got to work on. Kind of getting this pushed back up into this 200 level. See if she can get through there. We did put in a higher low there, so kind of a bit of a bullish look. Really need this to push through that 200 level. Approaching the 200 level here. ES pushing back into that 40. See if we can't get this thing going. Maybe we kind of bottom here at the 35 on the ES. Let's would be kind of surprising, but let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I like that 40 area. Well, trying to test this 200 level here, see if we can't push through there. Like I said, I'd like to see this break that 212 area. Give me some nice confirmation of this move to the upside. Then maybe we can look for an entry long at that point. It's kind of what I was thinking would happen at 3 when I first sat down. I was thinking we would just kind of get some displacement to the upside here. So it's part of the reason why I didn't hold that short that long. I was thinking that we would ultimately move back up, but or at least in the short term. ES is kind of looking stronger than the NQ right here, kind of front running the NQ, which doesn't happen all that often, but made about a 6-point move up when the NQ's only made 24 points. Usually with a 6-point move on the ES, you're probably looking at 60 or 70 points on the NQ. So lagging behind a little bit here. Struggling to get above that 200 level, that whole number acting as resistance here. You still got a short bias. Yeah, I mean, there's a big, that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. There is a big kind of gap to the downside here, you know. I mean, I guess technically there's still, you know, we're kind of just in this medium area right in the middle. So we did kind of trade up into the premium there. Yeah, kind of feels like it might trade back down, but I don't know. Especially the longer that it struggles to kind of get going here. You got a nice little volume imbalance there on the 5-minute chart, that 41 level. You still have this small gap here that's not been, well, I was going to say it hasn't been revisited, but I guess it did. Trade back up into that at 257. Let's see if 205 kind of holds us down here, if we can finally blast through there and get going. Getting through there now. I think if we can get through 05 here, possible move through the 15. We can just get going. Got to hold that 200 level though at this point, I believe. Want to kind of turn that whole number into support here. Get the ES above that 42, 43 area there. Can really start going. Got to push here. Got to hold that 200. If it turns back down, then it's just kind of maybe going for the lows. But I'd like to see this thing push right through up to that 215 area. Trying to go. Just trying to get something going here. Like I said, I think if you can get the ES above that 42, 43 level, we can start to take off, but may not get it. There we go. Got a little pop now. Let's push through that 05 level, get through the 10. Like to see this thing move through that 10 level strong here. ES just struggling right there at 40. Struggling to get through that 40. It's tapping it, but just not getting through there. Got to push. Like I said, I think if we get above this really above this 11-12 area here on the NQ, we can kind of get going, but we got to get that ES above that 43, 42, 43 area there. Yeah, it's kind of getting held up here at the 05. Not really moving through there like we would like. Like I said, we'd like to see it kind of get through there with some strength and close out that gap there. Get above 10, should be able to get going, but ES is just knocking on 40's door, not getting through there yet. Got to get going. If it kind of loses this 200 level, then that's not really what we're looking for. Loses 200, might trade back into that 93. Kind of got a small imbalance there. If we can hold 200, can kind of potentially still get going here. Dollar selling off through this move. Kind of traded back into a fair value gap there on the 2-minute chart, so maybe that'll get us going. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe. Helps the channel. I appreciate it. Again, if you are interested in trading futures, we do have a link for Apex in the description below there with a coupon code for 80% off. If you're interested in trading futures, help support the channel. If you're new here, we do trade live in the London session 5 days a week, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. at least, and the New York session from 9:30 a.m. until usually 12, 1 o'clock, something like that. Well, we're losing the 200 level now. It's not a great sign, but it could trade back into that 93, kind of you know, take a break, if you will, until it has enough power to get through there. You kind of have an imbalance here at 93, a volume imbalance, so I would imagine it repaints that. I'd like to see it hold that 92 level, though, at the very worst. You see ES has created a fair value gap here as well, so possible trade back into 38. So if you were going to take a long here, you do have a structure shift here on the ES. Well, actually, well, I mean, technically it broke this swing high and this one. But so we got relatively equal highs now here that you can be fairly certain that it probably will go back and get. We did have a bullish shift in structure on the NQ as well. We actually broke 3 swing highs here on the 3-minute chart. So kind of looking bullish now. Do we dare take an entry maybe with reduced size? That 92 10 handle stop. And the only thing I don't like is it still didn't technically clear this gap yet. So I really wanted to see it blast through this 10-11 level before I got bullish. So, well, it's not quite doing what we want it to do, and I need to get some sleep. So I think I'm probably going to end the stream there. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. I will be live at probably 10 or 10:30 this morning for the New York session. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you then.